Kryptonite, now fly. Ugh. Hey guys, I just want to talk about Lex Luthor hurting Superman in 2006 Superman Returns scene. Now this scene, really did defy the film at the time. Up until this point, there was a lot of anticipation about, how dark Superman's going to go. And I really think this scene captured a dark point in Superman's sort of history of abuse. I know that previously with Christopher Reeves, he did some really good stuff when Superman went dark, but I actually thought, Lex Luthor here in this scene was absolutely fantastic, and the premise of the scene as well, in terms of, him creating this crystal island, absorbing the powers of kryptonite, almost like, how he describes how crystals take on the characteristics, and, it's such a fantastic concept, thinking that the island is made all of kryptonite, at least taking its properties of evil for Superman. So there's literally no escape for him. And I think visually this is quite evocative, where we see the cracks of the kryptonite between his hands, Luthor, the sort of white, perfect overcoat that he's got on, Kevin Spacey is just like, is beaming here with happiness, and also, the way that sort of is portrayed in the scene, that sort of shining out while Superman is in darkness, and even the way his costume is dark, it's really tinted down, so they've really pushed him to sort of a darker point in terms of the visual look and feel. But the emotional music here is quite powerful, and you really feel that Superman is genuinely being beaten up. It's one of the first times we've seen Superman, in a proper fight where we believe he is vulnerable. I think this is, in terms of his actual vulnerability, knowing that he's surrounded by kryptonite, there literally is no escape for him. And the henchmen of Luthor come along and, beat his ribs, punch his face, grab his nose, do really basic things which we can all relate to ourselves in the real world, but thinking, that shouldn't be happening to Superman, but it is, and it kind of feels bad. The scene really sort of, forces you to feel truly sorry for him, and Kevin Spacey is so cold and callous in the role. He really enjoyed playing Lex Luthor. He's a huge Superman fan, so he really threw himself into the role and had a lot of fun with it. And you can tell with, the set design and how immersive they went on his character before, Jesse Eisenberg came along and we had hair and everything. I think Kevin Spacey captured the sort of last true point of Lex Luthor, where we know him as the comic version of the bald supreme evil. But yeah, as the scene progresses and it sort of ultimately comes to the point where Luthor stabs him in the back with a shard of kryptonite, that is a real sort of dark highlight where he's like, okay, fun time's over, boys. Now it's time to sort of like get serious. And I think, geez, this guy's horrible. Drown him first and then stab him with a shard of kryptonite. I mean, just imagine how painful that is for Superman. And Kevin Spacey, again, pulling off that callous, sort of cold momentum that he has in the role, really plays it beautifully. And I thought it was quite a shame, really, because I wanted to see more of this in the 2006 film, and it was only some of these key scenes which were actually really brilliant, and I love looking back on them, and it's a shame the rest of the film didn't reflect that sort of level of darkness and character development they put into scenes like this. But I just wanted to highlight it's such a great scene, and the way he just sort of falls off at the end, it's really poetic. It's almost like an Avenger moment. And yeah, check it out for yourself, enjoy the scene, and check out Kevin Spacey. Let me know what you think of his version of Lex Luthor in comparison to Jesse. And yeah, now fly.